right, welcome in, people. We're starting a little bit early because this was one of those like exhibition games where
Celtics.
there's no timeouts and you just kind of play it through. I don't even think they. I don't think they. I think they played with running time. This was like when five-year-olds play.
They're just like
running time. I haven't heard that in a while.
Exactly.
Just run the clock.
That's what they did in the rec league. Yeah.
one of the best plays of the game. One of the best plays of the game was near the end where Shimmy had a chance to foul a guy. He said, "Nope, not going to do it. Get the layup. Keep the clock moving." That's what we're talking about.
Games where they don't allow you to press after you go up 20. Like they're just like, nope, you got to play half court. You can't
everyone,
press.
all
social distancing enacted on every shot. Social distance on every shot.
Blowout, exactly. Like no, we're gonna keep beating on you guys, and then we're out of here. Like we're not playing tonight. We're not playing with you guys tonight.
The entire fourth quarter. Yeah, just put your hands up and let them go by you. You know.
Yeah.
The worst part about the running clock in the college rec league is you'd be down and they'd run it even at the free throw line. So if you were down in like the fourth quarter, there was no way to come back.
You're done.
No shot clock.
Yo, Josue, hurry up the routine, man. The clock's rolling. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is as quick a game as I remember. This really was exhibition basketball. The time of game from the opening tip must have been like 2:01. I missed the whole
first. Good, John. Wasn't that great to see that? Like to see the old-fashioned blowout and the Celtics be on the right side of it. Like,
but first, I had to watch the Rangers Capitals game to check out the fights. By the time I tuned in, it was 15 points. I'm like, oh, that's that.
Great.
So, Jimmy, start to finish, why don't you tell us everything you liked about this game?
Yeah, so the only thing that stands out to me is taco isolation, really. I mean, I think that's what we're going to take out of this game.
Oh, you mean the last 3 minutes, right.
That really stood out to me. Taco's got the low post move. I've been saying it. Not enough times does Brad go to him, but he paid off tonight. That's what I'll say about this game.
All jokes aside, that was a legit move. I saw a little dream in there. I saw a little Mikhail combo. Like,
little dream shake.
And then the Bamba block. That's really the only two things that are going to stand out.
He didn't just guess right on that. Like he's been working on that. Like that's Taco. We see you.
We did a whole segment about how we could just see him going through every step, motion by motion, and the fact that Bamba still fell for one of the moves, it was unreal.
I just turned the chat on, and the first thing I saw was this.
Well, listen, not gonna lie,
it's unreal. It was dead center.
He had a wide open floater that was about 6 feet, and it landed about 3 feet short.
What did he do to you?
Grant had some not so memorable moments.
Oh man,
yeah.
There were some not so memorable moments for Grant in this game. There's no doubt. The one that jumps out again is the 6 foot floater that was about 3 feet short. Should never happen.
Yeah. Let's not lead with Grant, please.
Let's leave him alone.
Hey, let's just leave Grant alone.
Let's talk. What
do you mean? What are you, Bobby now, Jimmy? What do you mean? I thought you liked this.
He's already dead. You don't need to kill him anymore.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Well, the guy was right.
To his credit, yeah. I mean, he was correct. He was correct about that. But we don't actually need to talk about Grant tonight because there's actually some good things to talk about in this game. And I'll throw it to you guys.
A lot of good stuff.
Well, first things first. Kemba was. The best thing about the type of injury he suffered was it's not something like it's not a tweak of like a lower body or something. It was like, okay, I got to wait for this thing to not be sore anymore. And then I come back. But best thing is he was rested as hell. And man, he looked spry, like it's not a lower body injury. So you're not worried about his quicks. And he looked ridiculous, just his ability to step into shots and do all of that stuff. He was amazing, right?
Just quick off the dribble, getting everywhere he wanted to. With no hesitation, just the Kemba Walker that we have been longing to see with more consistency. Now, you got to put it in perspective. I mean, you're playing the Orlando Magic, they are just an absolute walking dumpster fire. But this is the thing I like, aside from the victory itself, the fact that you played a crappy team and you beat the crap out of a crappy team. We've seen this movies set up before where they just don't do that.
Right.
And you know what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking about the Thunder.
What it's supposed to do, right, Sherrod?
Yeah,
that's what it's supposed to do.
That's
thinking about a lot of teams.
But Sherrod, that's what shocks you. Like, how did you lose to the Thunder? And granted, they missed a couple players that game, but they're without JB, they're without Tristan. How did you lose to the Thunder? It's about the same, right? I still, outside of Mo Bamba, don't know the name of anybody on Orlando, and I watched the whole game. Just like Oklahoma City.
Bamba, Bone,
Bacon.
Bone and Bacon.
Hey,
it's like a restaurant. That's going to be the name of my gastropub.
Bone is actually gone. I was looking for
last show.
Bamba, Bone, and Bacon. Yeah.
I was looking for Bone all game, and they cut him, I guess.
Oh boy!
I like
so many places you can go with that, and none of them are good.
Bobby, don't say that again.
Bacon, you took it a whole nother.
Don't ever say that, Bobby. Don't ever say that in your life.
The word is pause, right?
I was looking for Bone, and they cut him.
We just started. Okay. Right.
Well, there's not a lot to talk about here. Should we just go right to the locker room?
I feel like we're there already. Who knows what it's going to be like?
Jeez,
I'll tell you what. They do have a who's who of players on this team, on this Magic team. I mean,
the who's who of who's that?
No, more like who's
that's a good way to put it.
Who's that? Who's that? That's what I meant. Yeah, like
that's what I said about the Warriors earlier in the year.
No, I literally mean like who is who out there. Like if their names aren't on their jerseys, I have no idea who's who. That's what I mean.
They could all swap jerseys, and we'd watch the game like that guy's okay. We'd have no idea. This is a
lesson in tanking. Every year we get a lesson in tanking. This is the lesson in tanking right now. What you see.
There was an Irish-looking guy from Lithuania. I was thinking maybe there's a guy from Ireland, but nope, it was Lithuania. His name's Ignas Brazdeikis.
He used to be with the Knicks, I think.
Why so Ignas?
Yeah, don't be so ignorant.
So ignorant.
So, I mean, three things happened in this game. Kemba was good. Tatum did not like being taunted, which was great. That was
good to see that.
I like that. No,
yeah, when Mobamba.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
Wait a second. I'm Jason Tatum. Right.
Superstar Tatum.
That Bamba highlight's going to show up on a Top Shot card now, and it's going to be minted in history now forever. People are going to be bidding on it. So Tatum knows that, and he's going to have to, he's going to do his thing to make up for it. It's the world we live in now. It's going on Top Shot immediately.
Top Shot.
For all you boomers, that's an NFT.
You still pushing that?
Wow.
Still trying.
I don't have some Top Shots in the.
I'm just appeasing to the millennial crowd out there, or the Gen Z or the Gen X crowd out there.
Bobby, Jimmy, you're a bit of a tweener, huh?
I think. Yeah.
No,
not quite a millennial.
So many ways.
Not quite a millennial. Not quite a. Where are you? Who are you?
I feel like I'm a millennial. I'm lost. People in their low 30s, like me and Joe Sweat. I don't really. I think we're kind of like a lost.
Damn, Joe Sway. Joe Sway's like, what? Why am I in this?
We're the same age. So
I wouldn't have predicted it. No.
In that
even your boomers.
I'm not quite sure what a Top Shot it is. So maybe on certain things.
Bobby's Gen X.
I fall on the boomer side. I don't know.
Or Gen Z. Gen Z.
Bobby's not even a millennial. He's an exennial.
Yeah, Gen Z is below millennial. It's like younger than millennial.
No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is.
Got to rock. Let's go with it.
What else? Can we find anything remotely interesting to talk about? Because we're gonna
Kemba.
It's Kemba. It's all Kemba. I mean, we're looking at it.
We'll call it.
All right, fine. Go. All Kemba. Let's do Kemba.
We got smiling Kemba tonight. That's good.
Kemba.
He was always smiling. He's 3 for 27, and he's still.
I mean,
I don't care who was on the other side.
He's about to catch an L.
I don't care either. I just like the way he was moving, and he's hitting.
He was moving so good.
He's hitting high degree of difficulty shots, just quick ones, jump off the screen, catch and shoot. Awesome. It didn't matter. The defense, who it was, didn't matter. Those shots were the shots he has to knock down to be effective. He could do those regardless of who's on the other side. It was awesome.
Yeah, he was comfortable out there for sure. I feel like
Brad said the other. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I feel like when Kemba is in his bag like that, especially early on, it's great to see him continue to do that throughout, even if he's not particularly scoring. But like you said, the bounce, the eye test, like I feel like he passed it with flying colors for sure. So you wanted to see that after not seeing him, for so long.
Yeah.
And he was off to a good start in that Charlotte game before he tweaked that oblique or whatever it was there. And Brad got asked to practice the other day. Has there been any setbacks? Has anything happened with the knee? Has it affected him in that sense at all? And Brad said he's basically ready to go. He's 100%. He's looking great in that one practice that he had. And I believe it. Like, we're looking at last month, him shooting 50% from the field, 40% from three. Last 3-4 games, they've seen the Warriors, they've seen the Suns, they've seen the Magic now. So teams of varying difficulties, and he's destroyed them all. And to be off 10 days or whatever it was and just jump right back into the lineup with this, it was one quick walkthrough, one practice. It's impressive. And I'm very optimistic about what he's going to look like come postseason time. This has been a building all season long.
But it's that one step forward, one step back. Even Scal at the end of the game was
Bobby might change his mind in a week depending on how he looks. Like, and
I mean,
it's not just
we're looking at it.
A lot of people will
we're looking at decent. We're looking at a decent run here. You know, back to like the middle of last month. I know you had this gap in between games now, but it's basically like they had a 10-day break for him, and he just jumped right back out super fresh and is killing it again. He looks fantastic, especially the passing that he initiated.
Yeah, no question. Like, I just can't help but think about last postseason, right, where he ran into like a wall, seemed like. And obviously it's different. Obviously their approach heading into this has been cautious throughout the entire season for good reason. But a part of me see it 3 games in a row. So, you know, and obviously we have to wait and see because this is just the game one. But again, I'm not saying that if Kemba's not dropping 30 night after night that he won't be significant regardless of what he's doing offensively, as long as he's in the mix and as long as he's, again, passing the eye test and also creating shots and opportunities while hitting threes like this. Obviously that's a huge boost, a huge advantage for the Celtics.
But you got to keep in mind, though, that Kemba, yes, it was great that he had 32 points, but the big thing is he made an impact. And whether he's 11 for 18 or 7 for 18, if he's able to put his imprint on the game, that's what they need, because they got enough guys that can get buckets. They need enough guys who can make a significant impression and impact the game. We haven't talked about him much yet, but Fournier, I kind of like the way he's moving.
Yeah, we got to talk about him.
He looks a lot like that cat that would drop 20 on the Celtics almost every time they played Orlando.
Especially in Florida.
It was the Fournier versus Wagner revenge game.
Wagner was funny.
I wanted
Wagner
more of that.
Was really funny.
I wanted part 2 of that.
He was just like,
it fizzled.
It did.
He was absolutely locked in and giving the Celtics the business. So congratulations on your 15 or 18 points. Your team got their ass whooped by 30.
I know, but you got a lot of people in the chat saying they let the wrong guy go.
Right now,
should have been Grant.
You see? You saw what I did? Right? You saw what I did, right?
Not the Grant slander.
Should have been Grant. They should have kept Wagner. I've already seen a few of those.
If you forget what Moe Wagner did here in his last game, you're never going to be able to look beyond 2 days ago. That was awful what he did going out the door there in LA.
Yeah. Because it's amazing how quickly you forget about, like, his first shot was from the same spot that Daniel Tice had missed a shot from. And you're thinking, wow, this guy might actually help us. That LA, that West Coast game, that might have been one of the worst games played by a Celtic all season.
Oh, man.
Brutal. And you know what tonight made me think too? We said this that night. It was crazy they didn't put Taco into that game. And again, tonight you look at Taco coming in, cleaning up. It really is a no. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
When he goes out there with the Celtics up by 25-30, he just catches so much attention that the other team's just kind of walking around and lifeless. They don't want to go and compete with that guy inside, and that basically shuts the door. They were going right at Moe, and the lead went from 27 all the way down to 7 out there in LA. That was truly one of Brad's worst coaching decisions all year.
Right. Yeah, I can't get too geeked about Taco tonight, only because him and the other Mo Bamba, are like really tight. And so it was kind of like going against one of your boys where you're going to do some stuff that you normally would not do, but you're doing it just because you know him. He's not going to go at you as hard as he probably should. He's going to be thinking, it's just Taco. Taco Kevin McHale'd his ass with that up and under.
You
with the Kevin McHale.
He didn't see that coming at all.
You would think if they're friends.
What's that?
Bamba would know that move. He should know that move coming.
Jimmy saw that play. Let him talk about it.
Hey, we all saw that play. We all had time to run to the kitchen, pour ourselves a drink, come back, and see the end of that play. That's how slow that play was.
Jimmy's like, let me jump in.
Everyone in the world knew what was going to happen.
He stepped out to the line to set it up.
Jimmy's speaking about his play. Jimmy's speaking about his play.
I can break that entire play down for you guys if you want.
Jimmy's
tonight. He's
gonna have that's gonna be his top shot. He'll be buying
Fournier,
that one.
I want to see. Yeah, well, we know that's a very good.
I want
that's
that one.
That is a great taco top shot. Real quick on Kemba, if you told me back in December that Kemba Walker with 7 games left in the year is dropping 32 points and there's not a single sign of knee pain to show up, I'd be ecstatic. So I don't want anyone in the comments or anyone trying to spin this or I'm worried about Kemba or this that. Like this is all better than I think anybody anticipated, especially me and especially another guy in this room who I won't name names.
Wow.
He's back. He's 100% back.
I didn't say his name.
Jimmy in a red cup, like we don't know.
For real.
It's just soda water.
Now the only question with Kemba is, did the way he's walking, the way he's playing now, the way he's adjusting to this new knee pain and regimen have anything to do with the oblique? I can't really tell. Are there other ways he could get injured compensating for that? There is still that question there. And as Sherrod said, the condensedness of the playoffs, is that going to impact him once they finally get there? Joe Sway said it rather. I'm always misnaming who says what on here. But I feel great about how he's going to look come postseason. I really do. I have no concerns whatsoever. I think he's 100% back. I think there'll be enough of a decent gap between games here. And if they avoid this play-in tournament, as they hopefully should with a good performance against Miami next week, you get a nice little gap between the regular season and the playoffs. And we know what kind of impact that has on him.
Man, you got to get that 4 or 5 spot if you're Boston.
You got to get up out of there. Yeah.
Got to get the 4 or 5. Forget about 6. Get 4 or 5.
You need right now they should be thinking of one thing, and that's 7-0. That's it. Starting with tonight.
You know what, John? I was gonna say get 2 against Miami instead of that mentality. Oh, if you just get 1, no, get 2. But no, I like your thinking.
No, get greedy.
Run
the
table. Run the table. Okay. I don't know why the Moe Wagner graphics.
Good strategy.
Yeah.
If I'm Brad, which I think Brad sort of already planted that seed, right? Not too long ago, he said that this is
the table.
We're not
absolutely.
Getting ready for the postseason.
That's a good quote.
This is the playoffs. And you know what? This weekend, if I'm Brad, and I'm sure he's saying it, that's your weekend series against the Heat. You win these 2, you win that series, you're in good shape, but obviously, confidence-wise, I think that's what's going to be so significant for this team. The second unit, the guys like Neesmith, Payton Pritchard, like that's going to go a long way for these guys to finish strong to the finish line and go right into the postseason. That's the kind of momentum you want. That's the kind of momentum that, Miami sort of did it weeks and weeks before at this point of the season in retrospect compared to last year. But that's what the Miami Heat did last year, right? They got hot that last month or in the bubble and went into the bubble. And, they pulled up there early. They had that momentum going into the postseason, and it carried them to the NBA Finals.
Knicks have a brutal schedule.
The same thing, but we'll see.
Next 4 games are insane for the Knicks out west, and they're already down 23-6. You obviously have the Hawks up there.
How many teams are just going to lay down late in the season? That's I don't know. I'm looking at the matchups, who's got seeding all set, who's going to start to kind of position themselves. I don't know that looking ahead.
I don't think everyone's too close to that plan. I don't think anyone's going to do that.
Not in the East. Everyone's close. You want to get out of there for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Those 2 wins, at least you're out of playing the playing tournament. But like Sherrod said, maybe 4 is you're gunning for 4 no matter what if you can.
5, 4, 5 doesn't matter.
There's only
4 is going to be tough.
Right. The only teams in the East that are in cruise control are all the teams that are not going to be in the playoffs officially: Cleveland, Orlando, and Detroit. They have mailed it in for the season because they have no season after this. They have nothing to play for other than just to get the young guys out there. Everyone else is still in play.
Yeah.
Hawks are up 10 right now in the third. Phoenix not doing us any favors, but it's only 1 game in the loss column there, away from the 5 seed. So it's certainly in reach.
This is going to be a good stretch run.
You're playing for the 5 seed. There can't be one of these they didn't have it tonight games. Go. They have to go get it right now.
You have to be out of your mind to not like this play-in tournament. The way Washington's playing, and you see the Hawks are going to have a little series with them.
I love it.
No, I love it, but I would not want to be in it. I would not want to be in it.
Well, you gotta go out there.
Not only that,
just like LeBron.
Yeah, I actually don't love it.
LeBron's wrong. It's great. It's a great idea.
More competitive stuff is fun. Hold on, Jimmy has spoken. What do you not like about it, Jimmy?
I don't love it. I don't like the fact that you play 72 or 82 games, depending on, I don't know what year, if they're going to hold on to this. And some team that, okay, this year, they're not too far away right now. 9 and 10 are relatively close to 7 and 8, so it's not a huge deal. But there's going to be a year where there's going to be a huge drop-off between 8 and 9 or something like that, and it's going to make no sense why some trash team that's below 500 has a chance to make the playoffs after 82 games.
First of all, if you're the better team and you belong in the playoffs, you'll take care of that trash team.
Does it make any less sense? Does it make any less sense that
it's the NBA, in one game, anything can happen.
Jimmy, sometimes though, you have the 8th seed that's like 10 games below 500, and the 7th seed is like 2 games away from the 3 seed. That 8th seed, did they deserve to be there, or should somebody get a chance to play in their ass? You know, somebody, you know, like
I don't know.
The 9 and 10 seeds like, knocking behind them.
Any team can win like a one-game play-in, but either the 7th or 8th team most likely is going to get worked by the 1 or 2. Usually that's what happens in the NBA. But so, I mean, I guess, you know, whoever ends up with those seeds, it's not a big deal anyways. But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, you go 82 games, you're a top 8 team, like, and you're going to potentially miss the playoffs because you had maybe you had an injury.
If you're 7 and 8, you have a pretty good. You get 2 shots though. That's the thing. If you're
it's weighted properly to the 7 and 8 seeds.
Fair.
Yeah, it's weighted properly, and it's not quite like I've seen comparisons to the baseball wild card. That's stupid as shit.
I think exactly.
Not enough teams get into the playoffs there, and it's 162 games, and you got all the way there, and you win your division, and you're playing one game to determine whether you get into the playoffs or not. That's ludicrous. This is a little more fair. Plus, also, if you think about it, if we think about it as 6 teams make the playoffs and then there's 4 fighting for their way in, that's not a terrible way to think of it either. So really, you're shooting for the top 6.
I mean, I guess we'll see how it goes. It goes.
It's been fun.
I mean, whatever.
I like it. You know what else I would do? As an aside, I would create a 4-team tournament for the bottom 4 teams, and the winner gets the top pick in the draft, not the loser. So that way you can't shut it down completely. You got to leave enough horses in the stable. You can't totally tank. You got to have players left, and then you actually play it out.
Wow.
I don't know. That's
I love it.
Not foolproof. That is.
I always like that idea too.
Love it.
I kind of like that idea.
I've been on that one.
People working now, there's people that are losing to get into the losers tournament only so they can.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, everyone. You don't know everyone's motive. It's different. That just complicates things.
Now get in there.
Just win, baby. Just win.
I haven't had time to think about how much I don't like that, but I just know that I don't like that.
It's awesome. Next,
I do the whole lottery.
By the way,
the tournament.
Score update: first quarter, Nuggets, Knicks, 26-6. Nuggets.
What?
Are we doing this? We're already on scoreboard watch with like.
We have to be.
Jimmy, there's like a week left. There's like 2 weeks left in the season.
There's 6 games left.
Jimmy, you've got to watch something. Can you at least watch the scoreboard?
Something besides SpongeBob. Come on now.
I'm not concerned about it. I got like 3 or 4 games.
John's a savage tonight.
He's taking off the cuff to the next level.
John's like
0 exactly.
Scoreboard watching all these teams.
Shooting.
No, it's so true. The Knicks have been waving that flag. Now they got to see the Nuggets, Lakers, Clippers. Good luck out there. I mean, my Raptors.
Celtics. That's what they want.
Dreams got broken.
Pacers down 20. Do we still talking about
They're
the Pacers
in play-in territory.
Yeah.
The Pacers stink. I mean, if you could flip the Pacers for the Raptors, and again, my heart got broken last night by the Clippers last night. The Raptors are all but done from that playoff race. I would love to flip the Pacers and the Raptors because the Pacers got no one left. No, I'm not. They're down 3.5 games with 6 left.
You were, I mean.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was watching all those
games.
Kyle coming back obviously breathed some new life into them, but.
I know, but they traded the other parts of the team.
Yeah.
It's like Pacers and Wizards. Neither of those teams have a chance in hell against, whoever Sixers, Nets, Bucks, whoever they are. But they're the playing team. But they could potentially beat, I guess, the Hornets or the Celtics in that playing game. But I love the Celtics and Hornets chances against the teams at the top way more than I like the Pacers and the Wizards or the Raptors or the Bulls.
Well, here's the thing about the Wizards, though.
Mm-hmm.
They right now are one of the more
scary.
fun teams to watch play because they're just scoring at will. Russell Westbrook, if they were to take a poll of the MVP for the last 3 weeks, Russell Westbrook will be that guy. His team's winning. He's doing his usual triple-double thing. And all the guys around him that have to have certain roles that they need to play to be great, are getting it done. Daniel Gifford was just kind of just a throw-in guy. He's killing it for that team. The Wizards in a one-game winner moves on type situation, you don't want that
terrified.
smoke.
Of the years down there,
That's
that's definitely one you want to dodge.
But that's why you got 6-7 games if you're the Boston Celtics to play your ass into the top 6, knowing that some of the teams in front of you, like Atlanta, like New York, have really challenging schedules ahead of them. And your schedule isn't nearly as daunting when you look at Minneapolis. You've got Cleveland, and you've got 2 big games against Miami, both at your place. That is a schedule that is made for you to finish strong.
Cleveland trying to out-tank Orlando. Did you see who they signed yesterday? I couldn't. My jaw hit the floor. I didn't even know the guy was still alive. Anderson
Varejao.
I could not believe they had the balls to sign Anderson Varejao. He hasn't played basketball in like 4 years.
It's incredible. He was in the World
Cup. Great signing.
I mean, Bobby could get the call tomorrow for all we know. At this point,
why don't they bring back J.R. Bremer while they're at it in Cleveland?
Might as well. J.R. Bremer. Wait a minute.
J.R. Bremer. Why the hell not?
That's a throwback.
That is a throwback. I saw a crazy stat. Speaking of the Wizards.
I thought of like
Westbrook.
2 other J.R. Bremers before I realized you said J.R. Bremer. I was like, oh wait, no, that's
way back. Unbelievable.
That J.R.
Palacio.
If we're talking
Will
Westbrook,
Palacio had one of the great moments ever.
That half court.
One of the great.
John's like, don't start the Palacio slander. We're not having that.
Everyone go
against the Nets
right now. One of the best.
Just a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
The greatest. You're talking. This was a Malcolm Butler moment, like victory from the jaws of defeat. All the other team has to do is inbound the ball and they win, and you steal it at half court and falling out of bounds, hit a half court shot.
Out of my driveway, man.
The Milt Palacio moment is a really underrated Celtics moment. It's such a great moment.
MPM, baby.
Yo, he earned himself
that moment.
That was such an underrated moment.
Yeah, that was like flatlining, and then it was like beep, and then it was like flatlining. That was just an unreal moment. You're right.
Damn, Grant can't catch a break at all. Damn, we're not even.
Ricochet shot.
Damn.
This chat just watched a 30-point win, and they're worried about a guy off a bench.
Yo, I think Grant might go up there as like the all-time like hated.
Some of these guys in the chat
at least
broken.
Just for this season. For this season,
brains are broken.
It's what's so funny is he's such he is such an agreeable dude, and I know
he's the best.
We've contributed to it because we've beaten on him a little bit, and so I feel guilty for that. But it doesn't matter. It's not us. We didn't do this to him. The fans have this visceral hatred for Grant, and it's so weird because he is such a
He's such a good guy,
nice guy,
Yeah.
Oh,
and they were hating on him before we were way before. They gave up on Grant in December. They're like, "Well, get him."
It's because all people care about is offense. That's why they watch a game like Moe Wagner tonight, and they're like, "Oh, we should have cut Grant." Meanwhile, all he does on defense is try to take charges. He doesn't play anything that's not trying to take a charge.
Yeah, that was the scouting report on him. A big man who takes charges is like, you really want 7-footers to contest the rim. You're not there to take charges.
My thing is always just where's
that? You're 7 feet tall. Like you should jump. Maybe not let the little guys take the charges.
I just wanted to step. After what we saw last year, I just feel like he just stood right there. Maybe
he did step backwards, right?
Maybe he took a step back. Yeah.
Well, Rob passed him. Again, it's crazy to think, but in the Eastern Conference Finals, we were asking Grant or Rob. It was actually a conversation, and then Rob just shot ahead of him.
Not a conversation I was having.
It was not. Yeah, it was.
Where was that conversation?
I don't know what the topic was.
You know what else helped?
Hey, that's how the coach felt. Grant was in the game. Rob was on the bench the whole series.
Yeah,
Grant
we've been over
great personality
all year.
He has such a great personality. He's so popular with the teammates. He was the bubble was made for someone like Grant. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was just the combination of being in that situation.
The bubble.
Yeah,
and now the bubble is burst.
This is
Tyler Hero.
And now he's trying to figure things out this year. It's completely different.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let me tell everybody what's happening. We'll probably do this sooner rather than later. We got a locker room situation. We're basically in it right now, so we might as well hear from you guys. Just yammer away at us.
This is roughly what it sounds like.
And happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone out there. Now think about it.
Oh yeah, happy Cinco. God damn.
Yeah.
What do you guys prefer, Cinco de Mayo or May the 4th be with you? Do you like the nerd holiday?
St. Patrick's Day.
Did you
That's
really
not
just
on the
ask
table.
Come
Cinco de
on.
Mayo, man. Woo.
Yeah.
Really comparing a freaking Star Wars to Cinco de Mayo. Have you
I
been
tell you
to
what,
a party
though,
before?
the CL. Listen, our graphic for May the 4th be
Sean,
with
I
you.
gotta take you
Lots
out.
of positive feedback.
That was fun.
That was
Lots of positive
incredible.
feedback.
That was
That
fun.
was awesome.
The
I don't know who
the
put that
force
graphic
is
together.
strong within the nerds, Jimmy. I don't think you realize. Yeah.
That graphic got lots
Put
of
that graphic
good
together.
response.
They
Yeah.
made me.
Oh
They
no,
made
you
me.
can't tell Star
what
Wars
was it?
people nothing. You can't.
Leah?
They made you a
Princess Leia?
Wookiee?
No, they made me the chick.
No, little Jimmy was an Ewok.
No, they made me the chick. I'm pretty sure.
See,
So I'm gonna have to talk to whoever put that graphic together. Oh boy. Still in the box.
Force is always with me, man. Always with me, my man.
Still in the box. That's gonna be worth something.
That's why it's still in the box. That thing's almost old as you.
Anyway, locker room. We're gonna go there,
man.
download it
I bet.
It'll be worth the money.
download it on your iOS situation. Androids, sure, why not? Give it a shot. I think it's working. So try it. If not for everybody, I think we're there. So give it a shot.
Androids, huh? I bet you there's a lot of Android users that are big into Star Wars Holiday yesterday too. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that.
You
Yeah.
really went
I
on
don't
a
know.
limb.
I don't know.
You're wrong as
Join
hell,
us.
Jimmy, but
Join
Star
the
Wars-
chat.
the Android's actually better than the iPhone.
The Star Wars crew loves themselves some Steve Jobs. They love Steve Jobs. I don't know. They're definitely iPhone people. Oh.
That's true.
I
check
don't
him,
know.
Joe
guess
Slay.
they're
Check him.
just nerds in general.
Anyway,
But yeah, it's all about Cinco de Mayo.
do the locker.
John hates this conversation.
Do the locker room thing. I don't give a crap.
It's
I
better than
really
the
don't.
locker room,
Question?
Doug.
I really don't.
Oh man, Vitaly Potapenko is great.
Oh no, not Vitaly.
Oh, the Ukraine train.
Vitaly might have
Yeah,
been
he's into that.
secretly like a murderer or like the
He may
toughest
have
guy.
actually been in one
on
of
the-
the Star Wars.
Vitaly was a
too.
mean dude.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah, we should try to get him on the show.
he was.
John's like,
You go, Jimmy. You
John's
go
like,
first.
He
Make that
definitely
reach
like
first.
John's
killed
like, he definitely got
people.
bodies.
He probably
Yeah.
killed his agent years ago.
He's got
Probably
bodies.
Can't get in touch with
He
him.
might have put a couple hit outs.
Vitaly right now. If you're watching, please stop watching.
Yo, Vitaly, if you're watching,
As a matter
you're
of fact,
cool, man.
keep
Me and
watching.
you are cool.
Oh my
Me and
god.
Vitaly are tight. We're good.
Vitaly
We're all
is
good.
better
It's
than
John
Grant.
who's got the issue.
Anyway, join us on Locker Room afterwards. We'll
Oh,
talk.
this is
We're gonna
such a
wrap.
locker room right
We'll
now.
wrap it up a little early, around the
These
45-minute mark,
references.
because we are spinning our wheels right now. When we're in the when we hit Milt Palacio and Vitaly Potapenko, whichever you want to put.
Tap and go. I used to call it tap and go.
I
John,
know.
these dark days, Celtics. This is what molded me. as a
Stoiko
Celtics fan
Vrankovic.
growing
Anybody
up.
want to throw it? What's that?
That's why my face lights up when I see that name. I'm like, Vitaly
Those are the
Potapenko.
years. If you're like in your low 30s, like these guys can't do nothing but bring a smile to your face, even though it was painful at the time.
Basketball for Grant.
Happy
Unreal.
Cinco de Mayo. Carryover joke.
That's a carryover. Happy Greek Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Speaking of Grant,
That would have been
Again,
perfect.
it's hard-
Just ended right
Oh,
there.
really? We're gonna keep going down the Grant. Okay.
well, I'm just interested because this is what I'm keeping an eye on as the
You don't have
playoffs
to do this.
approach. It's tough to get a gauge from these minutes tonight, but Neesmith, Pritchard seem like they're in that lead for the final bench rotation minutes.
They're
here.
in it.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Especially the way that Pritchard is shooting the ball.
Pritchard's
Damn.
not gonna be in it. What do you mean?
Well, look
I
at
want to ask you
him.
guys a question though. And in all seriousness, does it seem like Pritchard from the beginning of the season to where he's at now has extended his range significantly?
Yes. Oh,
I mean,
his
he's
shot is
gotten a little more
unreal.
I think
confident.
fraud.
He's
I think
taking some
the
deep
most
shots.
telling sign was that Warriors shot. I'm telling you.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I mean,
That shot in that moment.
it seems he's giving himself more space behind that 3-point line now than he was at the start of the season. And I don't know if it was just me that was seeing that.
Pritchard is
I mean,
absolutely
Confidence.
for people who
shooting.
who haven't read the Athletic, the new article from Jay King. I mean, this guy works. Okay, this has been instilled in him years. You know, like what do you expect at the NBA level? Only the utmost. I wouldn't be surprised if he's working on that shot every morning.
42% from three as a rookie, and he's shooting a ton of them. I mean, we're already saying this has been the best shooting season
And
we've ever seen
he
from a
went through
rookie
a real
in Celtics history.
He went through a really cold spell too, and that's how hot he's been for most of it because he had that little window where he was ice cold, couldn't hit for a while. And
last 10 games,
and then
46%.
Since that he's been out of his mind. Yeah, and he'll shoot from anywhere. Yeah, he'll pull it.
Are you saying first guy in, last guy out for Pritchard? Is he first guy in, last guy out? Is that what you're saying?
Either him or Neesmith.
Yeah, depends how he's if he's hot. He's got the hot hand.
I think Jimmy's saying first guy in, last guy out of the gym.
Yeah, the gym, not in the game.
Oh, I mean,
yeah, this is.
I didn't read the article.
Pritchard's a no doubter. There's no reason to debate Pritchard. Pritchard's a no doubter part of the rotation. He's absolutely in. Neesmith is a trust issue. Is Brad going to get there and trust him in the playoffs? I don't think so.
You saw Semi.
I think he's going to peel him back.
Saw Grant.
I'll put it this way, Jimmy. I'll give you sort of the Cliff Notes version of it. Everyone else went to school and also played ball. Pritchard homeschooled just to train to become a baller. Like freshman year of high school, not even middle school, this sort of regimen, commitment, and shout out to obviously his parents because they had to okay it and they supported it and they said, listen, if you're going to do this though, like you can't be like quote unquote normal. Like, you got to be different. Like this is whole thing. You can't just like half-ass this. And obviously that wasn't the case. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a great article.
So he went to homeschool?
Yeah. I mean,
you don't go to homeschool.
Yeah.
You
what
stay.
do you do?
He was homeschooled.
You just stay there.
Maybe he went to somebody else's home.
He didn't go to his home for school every morning.
He walks out the door, walks right back in. Hey,
I'm ready for school now.
Bye, Mom.
Complete different
walks
outfit.
back in. Hi, teacher.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, I don't know how it works. I wasn't homeschooled. I'm not a freaking dork.
Like homework.
None of us were either, Jimmy. We just were able to figure out the term home and school together.
Yeah, well, I don't have kids that are home for Zoom and everything like that and all that stuff. Hey, people go to somebody else's home sometimes to get homeschooled. That is a fact. So I'm not coming off.
You know what else? You know what else that told me about Payton Pritchard? Like during quarantine and everything, he's the one guy you never had to worry about, right? Like out of all the rookies, I bet you like that was probably one thing that obviously stood out for the Celtics, and the rest is history. Obviously, they made the right choice.
He might have been the most ready, aside from like Ball and those guys up at the very top. he was probably the most ready rookie from day one of the season, even without all the stuff we've talked about. It's really incredible.
he went to homeschool, Bobby. He went to homeschool throughout all of it.
He was homeschooled. Teacher.
Leave my guy, Jimmy. Jimmy, I got your back, man. I got your back.
Wait, did he go to
homeschool?
Did you go to homeschool today?
Which one did he go?
Stop.
I would have loved homeschool. I hated waking up at 5:45.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Bobby, you probably would have done well in homeschool. You guys all would have done great. You would have thrived in homeschool. I'm sure of it. I'm surprised you all even survived. To be completely honest. Not Sherrod. He's cool.
Yo, I've never seen John laugh this hard. This is bad funny.
Jimmy's my guy.
Let's keep it moving.
So,
how about
anyway,
how about Fournier?
How about Pritchard?
No. Let's talk about it. Pritchard is in. There's no question about it. The Neesmith, I'm
worried about Neesmith.
Whether Brad's going to rob him. You know,
you're worried about Neesmith? Why?
Yeah,
in the rotation. Not him, the player. Whether Brad is going to get to the playoffs and be like, this is too. I can't trust it. You know, like the same way he did with Rob in periods last game. I'm afraid Brad's just not going to be able to do it.
I think Brad's going to have a short. That's going to keep a very short rope for him when he's out there. That he's going to need like normally he would let Neesmith make 2 or 3 bad plays, where I think now it might be 1 or 2 before he gives him a quick hook because he knows what he's getting with Shimmy. He knows that, and he knows what he's not going to get with Shimmy.
They cannot.
I'm afraid he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to go semi.
I hope he doesn't though, because I think Neesmith is going to be one of the. I think Neesmith could have a Tyler Hero type of postseason. Not score the ball like he did, but have that type of where the hell did this guy come from impact. I do think he can be that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you put someone like that into the equation, like someone that teams have to play a game plan for, like that's I think another person also was Robert Williams. Like what's going to happen with him? Obviously, staying out of foul trouble is going to be something I keep a close eye on throughout. But how far that leash is going to be, like a few months ago, I think Brad, that leash is much shorter. But now, like, I don't think compared to like I don't think Neesmith is so far from that when you compare it to Rob. So yeah, I'm with you in that. Like that's going to happen in the postseason, especially because that's usually what happens with rookies. But with Neesmith compared to Payton Pritchard, I mean, there's going to be times where he's going to have to lean on one of those guys, and even if they're not crushing it, he's going to have to. I think
those minutes are extremely underrated. Those like 8 to 9 minutes that he's going to have to allocate to Shemi, Grant, Neesmith, one of those guys. That decision is going to be so pivotal. And you know what Stevens is going to do. He's going to say, "Oh, this other team's playing a bunch of wings. Let's go with Neesmith." Or, "Oh, we're playing Giannis. We got to go Ojale." And that's commendable to some degree because you want like matchup-based guys out there. But none of these guys are good enough to be specialists like that. Like Shemi's not the Giannis stopper anymore. Grant, we saw him do great against Jokic, but there aren't many great matchups where you're going to be getting a huge advantage by playing Grant. My take going back to last week, roll with the highs and lows of Neesmith. Get him integrated, take advantage of all the strengths there. What a novel idea. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you have to because he has shown the most upside out of all these guys. I don't want to see Parker.
And none of those other guys have had their chances to take the mantle and run with it, and they haven't.
This is where we were early in the year begging.
No, it wasn't. He wasn't playing well then.
No, before
wasn't playing at all.
The point was play him,
playing at all, right?
Work through the ups and downs then, so you didn't have to worry about can I trust this guy now. And now we're in a point where there's 7 games left. All of these games matter, and you already saw today. And again, it was Orlando, but I'm wondering against Miami, are we going to see 8 minutes, 9 minutes? If it starts pulling it back, that means it means it's all for naught. It means this little run of him playing these minutes and flashing was nice, but not going to make an impact. And that would be a bummer if you're leaving something, on the bench that you could absolutely be using, which is why playing him early was the right play. So you wouldn't have to second guess whether or not he's ready. How do you get Tyler Hero experience in the playoffs? You make sure the guy's playing 25 minutes a night every single night, and you live with the ups and downs during the season. It's really hard to do it when a win or a loss could mean your season. And so I'm worried about it a little bit. I'm worried about Neesmith getting pulled back a little bit. Yeah. So I don't know.
You guys are worried?
Yeah,
about it.
I'm just worried because I want to see him, and I'm afraid Brad's not going to be able to do it.
Again, Jimmy, this team's so thin that never mind if an injury happens or some guy goes out or anything like that, even if they're full strength, they're still going to have that 8-9 minutes of rotation there that they have so many choices to roll with that if they overthink it, they could have a bad stretch here. Like the beginning of the second quarter tonight, you saw Shemi, you saw Grant, you saw Neesmith, all those guys on the floor, and it went terrible. And you see those rotations time and time again with Brad tinkering, experimenting, trying to go too deep into the bench where they just run into a flat streak there. And I'm worried that he's either going to become obsessed with the matchups or lean on the veterans like a Shemi and try to go with those guys rather than the upside we've seen with Neesmith. That's been my concern back to last week.
I don't know. I'm not going to say it has completely sailed, but the Shemi ship has sailed, I think.
Why do you play 15 minutes today then?
Because they're playing the Orlando Magic and they're up 30. That's why. What do you want? I don't know. Like, it's not a
he was in there. He was in the first. He was in the first bench rotation tonight.
Yeah, I just don't see it. Nothing will stun me with this team anymore. But I'd be pretty surprised if Shemi's getting the start.
Meanwhile, Romeo Langford. Romeo Langford's hurt again.
Yeah.
We didn't even mention
pork chops
I don't think we're looking at a situation where if Neesmith doesn't give you good 7-8 minutes, that he's gonna say, "Oh, this guy's bench for the night." Like I don't think that's the case. Like I think Romeo is completely fallen out. Compared to Shemi. Like
Romeo's hurt again.
Somebody said the funniest thing in my comments today, by the way, regarding Romeo. I was talking about like he's literally had every injury known to man. He's like honestly, he's like the next time he appears on the injury report, they're gonna list him as pregnant. Literally nothing the guy hasn't had.
Nothing
it's
left.
Unbelievable.
Head to
toe.
Connect the dots with his injuries, and you'd be like, yeah, that's Romeo
That's the whole body plus the inside of him with COVID. He's literally had everything. Right. Unbelievable.
At some point, it's seeing good luck, bad luck too.
I'm kind of with you in the sense that, yeah, Shemi might be Brad's, what's it called? Binky, if you will, right? When things go south, if he needs some stops, he's going to throw him in there. But I don't think it's going to be a sense where, okay, Neesmith is done for the night. Like, he's divvying up those minutes. I don't think it's a matter of,
I just
Shemi,
I just don't know where Ujulay came from.
I don't think I don't know where today was a day of, I think, just like, let's just move it. I mean, Grant got in pre-garbage
but that's
time.
my point, John. Why are you still experimenting? You know what you have.
Because Tristan was out.
Rotation.
Yeah,
I don't know why, Bobby. I just think it was a let's keep everybody fresh because you never know what you're going to need game because it's Orlando, so why not?
Yeah.
But so you know what? The next game that matters is going to be the one where you're going to see it again. You know, what happens there? Do they tighten it back up and does Neesmith go back to 20-25? I was a little bummed he wasn't playing like that whole third quarter. He didn't get in really. And I was like, and you know what they were doing? They wanted to put it so far ahead where the starters would definitely not have to come back.
Right.
And so I get it. But not seeing him out there, I kind of thought he would have maybe got in there a little more. It's good to see he didn't play in the final five with the garbage team. So he's obviously not one of those guys, but it's really whether or not he's going to get trusted in the playoffs.
The fouls are what concern you because that's going to drive Brad crazy. He's basically fouling 4.5 times a game now. The 3-game stretch where he went 16, 16, 15, his fouls were 5, 5, 5. So, I mean, he's on the
look at the way he plays.
He's on the razor.
I'm totally cool with him picking up fouls. I mean, he's going to play.
It does hurt you. You're getting yourself in the penalty. That stuff's going to matter in the playoffs. Like, it's okay-ish now because you're rewarding him for aggressiveness and, like, you want to see him try and hustle, but you can't be a friggin' total idiot running into people and getting your team in the penalty.
Yeah, there's some dumb fouls. He picks up like 1 or 2 silly fouls every game. I absolutely agree with that. But the fact is, he more times than not is playing so hard, and it's becoming contagious. I don't think it's a coincidence that this team seems to play with a little bit more, I wouldn't say an edge, but they seem to be more engaged for longer stretches. And I think having a guy like Neesmith on the floor, it perpetuates that. It allows you to keep that going.
The bench.
Especially off the bench.
What's up, Jimmy?
He's getting some shout-outs. He's getting some shout-outs too. Marcus Smart shouted him out. I know Jaylen Brown did. So he's getting that respect from the team. What I was going to say was Aaron Neesmith, good friend of the show.
What a nice guy.
Yeah,
that was great.
Good friend of the show for anyone who doesn't know.
That was great.
That's why we're showering him in praise now. Everyone's still looking for a John apology cam.
That's the dumbest freaking thing I've ever heard. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm literally leading the Aaron Swift.
I'm actually with you on that one. I don't understand that at all.
What is wrong with you people? John apology kid for Neesmith for saying he played bad. He played bad a little bit. Big deal. I've been literally begging for this guy to get in here.
Yeah, you've been all about
like
there was
biggest guy trumpeting. It's been Rob and Neesmith for me all year, and a little bit of Romeo. But like, holy crap, that this stuff. But Neesmith was on the show. I want to give a shout out for Neesmith though. Neesmith's on the show. Part of the reason why, and we wanted to give him a little love, was he signed a shoe deal, and he was really geeked up about it. He was really psyched. Signed a New Balance shoe deal. You go to the website. He's on the cover. Coming home or something like that. He's actually got higher placement on the New Balance website above Kawhi.
That's every baller's dream right there.
And he's like, he was honest. He's like, look, right. Obviously you want to make the NBA. He's like, the other thing is you kind of want a shoe deal. And he's like, I got it. And he was like,
that's where the real money is.
But he was psyched, man. And he was really cool. And he talked with us. Yeah. He was happy to talk basketball. He talked about his shoes. Really awesome to have him on. Go to our YouTube channel if you want to watch the interview. Really nice guy, friendly. Wasn't at all like, ugh, I don't have time for this. Like, not bothered. Like, super
nice guy
and ridiculously humble.
When you tried to bait him, definitely answered. He worked his way around him. Like,
he was really humble. Every time we said like you're playing well, he's like, I'm in the gym. I work hard. I'm in the gym. I work hard. He was really good about it. So thank you for Aaron Neesmith. Yeah.
I love when you asked if he was banged up at all from jumping around this much, and he's like, "No, I learned the art of falling," and he really has. I mean. Good. You see him like fall from like basket level at times, and somehow he just bounces right back up.
Yeah. He was good.
I watched it. So anyone who hasn't watched it, Bobby, shout out to Bobby and John. They did a great job, and if we were all on the show, maybe it would have been a little bit better. But overall, I think you guys did a pretty good job.
We lost a little of quality with all you guys out there, but yeah,
we'll get them on someday. We'll get them on the show someday.
But yeah,
all of us, and put them through the car wash of the post game show.
Look at our guests so far. Okay, our guests recently have been Aaron Neesmith, Kendrick Perkins, Jeff Goodman, a little Kyle Draper. Yeah, we're bringing in some good outside juice into the show. Yeah,
get some other names coming.
You can flex, John. Yeah, you're right.
Jump on.
It's a nice little list.
It's not bad. It's not a bad little list.
Yeah.
Josue Pavone, another one.
I've been in the chat.
That was years ago, Jimmy. That was
Aaron Neesmith, an unofficial member of the Garden Report, and New Balance, now the unofficial shoe of the Garden Report. So,
go cop those guys.
Go get your Neesmiths.
I'll tell you what.
Go get your kicks.
I'm not just saying this. New Balance, their sneakers are getting a lot more cooler. They're not just like your dad's shoes.
Those ones he showed us.
They were awesome. They looked really cool.
Yeah. They're figuring it out.
When I was at EI, they sponsored the building and they hooked us up with some sneakers and they're really comfortable. Yeah,
that's a Boston company.
It is.
Yeah, right around the corner. Yep.
Right.
Support local business.
Support your local business. Go get yourself some Aaron Neesmith shoes.
Aaron Neesmiths.
Well, so the cool thing is you don't get to your own shoe yet. But his story goes into his shoe, which is
he gets his own colorways that he wants. He can kind of be involved in the creative process and all that stuff. It sounded like, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, it's his rookie year. I mean, he's only going to get theoretically, hopefully, he can get more and more involved in it. So
yeah.
Someone commented the unofficial shoe of homeschools.
So true. No, that's Skechers.
Oh man, the commenters are lit tonight.
What's a homeschool?
It's one of those goofy games where you only half paid attention. Most people were probably high through most of it, or just like it was.
Thinking of mine.
Yeah, I know one who was.
Yeah. Jimmy.
Imagine the locker room tonight.
You're the one who can't stop laughing this whole show.
Yeah, we're questioning.
I know. No.
People want to know.
I get what's so funny is I probably get called out.
I know what you're gonna say.
No. I get in the chat. I probably get more like John's hammered or high. Not even
cue.
Yeah, you
not
get
even
that
once.
Cue. Someone just posted that on cue.
Not even once. I'll do it if you want. You want to see the difference? Okay, I'll show you.
Oh my lord!
Yeah.
I swear.
You should say that for the NBA Finals.
I'll show you if you guys want to see the difference. Well, one of these games, we'll see. Orlando would have been a good one.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if it can top Jimmy's Lakers appearance. That was pre-Sherrod.
Yeah.
That wasn't drunk. That was a good solid buzz, though. I'll give you that. Saturday night.
A good solid buzz.
Good solid buzz.
We call that drunk,
on
Jimmy.
The post-game show.
That's lit.
Put it this way, I wouldn't have driven, but I wasn't like blackout or anything.
It's called drunk. It's called drunk.
John Josue and I were just trying to keep a straight face.
What it is.
Oh my God. Yeah. Luckily, all you had to do was drive to homeschool, so you're not going to get pulled over.
Backed out of the driveway, pulled back in. Wow, Sherrod's off.
I'm going to tell you this now. We're going to head over and take this clown show over to locker room. Bobby, you can't do this, can you? You don't have studio control.
I'll just give you the wave this time.
Just wave at me. Say, guys, all of you start doing this, and I'll end the stream, okay? Sherrod and I are going to head over in a little bit, guys. From this debacle that we just had, anything else you want to add?
And we're going to talk about Carson Edwards and Tremont.
Oh, God, I'm leaving right now. Goodbye.
I didn't sign up for that. I'd rather talk about Fournier. We didn't talk about him. Can we make it?
Yeah, we will.
A deal?
Yep.
Oh, you want to do Fournier?
No, I don't want to. I just don't want to do. I'm making a deal here. I'm meeting him in the middle. I don't want to talk about Fournier either, but I will.
Fournier is interesting. I mean, he came out after last game. he came out after last game and was like, "Oh, I'm all woozy and can't see straight." And he looks great.
He looked good last game. I was so shocked to hear that. I was really worried. So anyway, guys, I'm gone. How long do you want over here?
Like 2 minutes.
30 seconds.
You see the clock? We're at 54:44. Take it to an hour, and then I'll wrap you guys up, and then come join us. So we
I don't see the clock, so somebody else will have to see it.
Take 5 minutes here, wrap up the show, and then send everybody over, guys.
I'll put the timer on. Yeah,
Sherrod and I are heading over to the locker room, guys. Just text me when you want me to wrap it up for you.
All right, there's gonna be there's gonna be a filibuster. We just have to talk for 5 minutes straight and keep it going as the clock.
Shout out to that's funny. Shout out to Fournier for that freaking quote of the week, if you ask me. Listen, it could be
I don't feel good.
It could be no emotional going back to Orlando. It's not gonna be emotional.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Going back to the team, the only team I haven't played for, compared to what Vucevic had to say when he got traded to Chicago and how he was
crying.
He was fighting back to, or he was crying, talking about
what was the quote? I don't even know.
So pretty much, Fournier was like, "Listen, I'm going to beat the Magic. It's just another game. I only care about winning. I'm a Celtic." Like, I just think that was just great to hear for not only
he said
his teammates, but just to set the record, not even set the record straight. What am I talking about? Just to say, look, I'm focused in helping this team. I'm all in. I'm fully committed. So there isn't even an
an ounce.
I think he's gonna say an ounce
because like with everything with COVID, with COVID going on, like he just wants to just be his best self, and he can't because he's being held back. So I like that. Show where his head is.
Well, what do you think's working so well for him here? Because I feel like, and he's had a few awful games, but he's also had about 4 or 5 at this point outstanding games. Tonight, he set the tone in the first few minutes. He was outstanding in that Portland game. He had a 7 of 11 game from 3. He fits excellent on this team. And I think we're understating the kind of impact that he could have going into this postseason because, again, I know he's concerned about his health and how he's feeling and all that stuff, but 2 straight games after saying that, he looks like he's back to form and playing full speed ahead and starting. He's part of the starting lineup now. So I love what I'm seeing so far from him. I
do too. I mean, it's been so hot and cold. I really don't know what to expect on any given night, but this does, these last 2 games, obviously, trending in the right direction for sure. I was also a little, I guess you could say concerned when I heard that he was like having, dealing with so many, after effects of COVID, which does explain like the offers, right? Coming right off of that. But he definitely looks way more comfortable now. I mean, no Jaylen Brown tonight, so I think he didn't have to maybe think as much. He's kind of going out there, sliding into one of those roles, and can probably see himself more in the role that he was in Orlando, as opposed to, trying to get another guy involved and being the guy coming off the bench and being expected to, sort of bridge the gap between the starters and the bench. So maybe a little easier for him to just kind of do his thing tonight. I really want to see, again, like everybody else watching and everybody else and Celtics fans, you want to see this entire team healthy and see what they can do. You want to see Fournier coming in off the bench and sliding into that role and putting up 18, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for in the last few games here. You
were right. I was worried about Tatum and Brown after the last game, and we saw what Tatum came out and did tonight. We didn't even really mention it. But Brown,
yeah,
I guess he could play on Friday. He didn't make this trip. Are you worried about him, Josue?
No. I mean,
you think he's good?
Oh, yes and no. I think he's good, but I think you want to be precautious and not just I don't think he's done for the season, obviously, but I think the Celtics are doing a good job in keeping him, under wraps. And someone like Kemba's out there getting reps, and that starting 5, obviously, that's a huge hole, but it's not one that's going to be. He won't. I don't think he's going to have a tough time coming back and integrating himself into that starting 5. But I think it's really important for those guys to get as many reps as they can without him. And of course, when he's able to rejoin that team, when the Celtics are comfortable enough to add him in there, that just adds to their chemistry and what they're working on between now and the end of the season.
You never know. I mean, how many times has Brad said day to day now? He said it with Rob. He missed 5-6 games. He said it with Kemba. He missed 4. Now he's saying it with Brown again. And they're gonna need him for that Heat series. So I don't really care if he misses Friday. They said he could make that trip. I don't think he's gonna. But Sunday, Tuesday, those are games he's got to be in. Those are huge ones for this team.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge.
Both of them. Win them both, Celtics. You can do this. Come on, Celtics. You guys don't think
Who
it
is
can
it Friday?
Back-to-back.
Chicago.
What do you guys think?
Oh, right. Chicago.
I think they can beat the Heat. Again, I haven't been that impressed with them all year.
Same.
I mean, there's no reason to believe that they can't beat the Heat. I mean, it's a team that's right in your wheelhouse of tiers. Neither the Heat nor the Celtics are in the top tier of the Eastern Conference right now. They're both kind of firmly in that second tier. So they're, those are statement games. Those are games where you definitely want the Celtics at the very least to put up a good fight and compete. And if it comes down to a final shot one way or the other, then so be it. But you're hoping they can go in there and at minimum take one of those two games, and the second one has to be a very close game down, from start to finish. I don't want to see them roll over in either of those games. That game should mean more to them than any of the other games. Maybe the final game of the season against the Knicks is an important one too. But those are the ones that you want to see them be full health for. So I'm not really worried about Jaylen Brown right now. Can see it as a little rest. I know that him and Tatum all year we've been saying these guys are just playing crazy minutes and crazy amount of games and they need to rest. And I know that they've had their own bumps and bruises, but I'm not worried about Brown.
All right, we're off to Locker Room. Join us there. It's on Android. It's on Apple. We are done here until Friday night.
We're off.
Bulls, Celtics.
We're raging tonight. We're partying.
Wait
guys.
1 second. We're going to Locker Room. We're competing against another Locker Room right now, and we need all the support we can get. So if you're a true Garden Report OG, you'll come following us over to Locker Room tonight.
OG, I like that. You day one.
You'll hang out with us, even if it's just for a bit. It's an early night. It's 10:15. Come hang out for 30 minutes or whatever, and you'll be in bed all tucked in before 11 on the East Coast anyway. So, all right, we'll see you guys over there.
What, 10:15?